Thousands of years ago in ancient India, monks went into the forest to meditate, chant, and do other spiritual practices to benefit and uplift all beings. Having given up their worldly possessions, the monks often went into the nearby towns to collect alms from the locals, usually in the form of food or other supplies. One day, Buddha and his disciple Ananda completed their spiritual practices for the day and walked to the nearest town. They arrived at a house and knocked on the door, and an old woman opened it. Buddha and Ananda presented their bowls to her. Irritated by all the monks passing through, she shouted, "I'm so tired of you monks asking for alms. I don't have anything left to give." The woman grabbed the bowl from Buddha, scooped up a pile of dirt, and handed the bowl back to Buddha, shouting, "Here are your alms." Shocked, Ananda yelled back, "Old woman, you can't say that to him. Don't you know who he is? He's the Buddha." Buddha just turned to Ananda and held up his hand, implying, "I got this, Ananda. Don't worry about it." Graciously, Buddha took the bowl from the woman. Silently, he flipped over the bowl and dumped the dirt onto the ground, symbolically saying, "Thank you, but no thank you." Before we get to the moral of this story, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as we really appreciate your support of our channel. So what is the moral of this particular story? Well, the moral is that none of us should ever have to eat dirt given to us by another. But because many of us grew up in toxic or narcissistic households or have found ourselves in abusive relationships, many of us have been handed these bowls of dirt. But this is a story about boundaries and about teaching people how to treat us. See, we teach others how to treat us by what we accept or what we reject from others. And the truth is that most of us have eaten many of these mini bowls of dirt before we realized that we didn't have to. But even after we realize that we don't have to accept these bowls of dirt, it's still sometimes hard to say no, especially with certain people or in certain circumstances. So we keep eating these bowls of dirt until finally one day we gain the courage to say no. And this is a good time to practice the Buddhist principle of non-attachment. Indifference to the outcome of the other person's reaction to us setting the boundary by saying, "No, you can't treat me that way." It's also important here to realize and remember that we're not responsible for anyone else's feelings. We are only responsible for our own. And how other people react to things we say and do, it's none of our business. Now, as a therapist, I do have to say, if there's an actual threat of physical danger, please take care of yourself and your physical safety first. But barring that, with most of the people you're going to be setting boundaries with, try doing so gracefully. Like maybe by adopting an attitude of, "Thank you, but no thank you. I'm good." And whatever you do, remember, there's always hope for healing.